Overwatch 2, the Chicago Bears of the gaming world. 2024, everybody thought they were done for. Nobody cared about Overwatch. No, the game is dead. And then 2025 comes around and they make this huge revival and become top of their space, top of their genre. 2025 was probably the biggest year Overwatch has ever seen as a franchise. I feel like it's a bigger jump than Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2 was. It all really started at the end of 2024 when they introduced 6v6 again, and then the momentum continued into 2025 with Stadium, with hero bans, with hero perks, with map bans, map voting. The game is completely different than it was a year ago. And you could even see public opinion starting to shift on Overwatch 2. Back when Rivals came out, if you even mentioned Overwatch 2, you would get downvoted, you would get ratioed, everybody would make fun of you, and now it's kind of the other way around, where Overwatch 2 is almost seen at the same level or even higher than Marvel Rivals. But I think there's other external factors that also play into it, like Marvel Rivals was a huge splash when it came out, it was a huge hit, and it wasn't something that just died out in a few months. It took a long time for it to finally lose steam, and then once it did, then the public goes back to having their own opinion. And Overwatch 2, the devs have been listening, they've been implementing changes, they've been fast to change things too that just don't work, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. Like when Stadium switched to a best of 5 format, they changed that in less than a week. I think that was a mistake. I feel like they needed to just let the mode rest for maybe even half a season, a month, to see how people really feel about it without getting all gung-ho. Yeah, leaving something in the oven too long will burn it, but when you take it out too soon, it's undercooked. And the Overwatch team has shown that they are capable, that they know how to cook. They're doing risky things, but it's paying off for them 9 out of 10 times. How we even got to this state was just them playing safe. 6v6 will never work. There won't be the population for 6v6. What do you know? They were wrong. Like, these modes can coexist, at least for right now. And as long as Overwatch 2 continues to innovate and make changes, the player base is going to continue to grow, and people will continue to fill these lobbies. Stadium was another huge risk they took, and it paid off. I feel like Stadium is ultimately what's going to be the longevity of Overwatch as a franchise. I mean, you just imagine it. If Stadium failed, they put so much resources and everything into it. Imagine if the mode flopped. Overwatch might have not survived. It would have been in a very, very rough state. Like, half the patches this year would have just been trying to salvage the mode. It would have been a complete disaster. But they took a risk and it paid off. Hero bans was another thing that was kind of controversial. I still don't fully agree with hero bans, but I am kind of glad that it is in the game. I just feel like we should have gotten a few more heroes before hero bans were fully introduced. Especially metal ranks. I mean, this is for almost any game that has hero bans, but in metal ranks, you're just banning characters that you personally find annoying, like Mercy, like Ball, Sombra, Widowmaker, etc. Meanwhile, someone like Soldierin would go untouched, and you'll get a Soldierin that just runs your lobby. Map voting, I'm glad that's back. I have no cons about that. Every single game should have map voting. I hate that it was taken out in the first place for like the last 5 years, and many games took out map voting. Now it's back in Black Ops 7, it's back in Overwatch 2. Every game needs a map voting system. Every game is going to have bad maps. Why make players suffer through it when they just vote to skip it? I know where map voting could be a problem, like if you're in Call of Duty, if Nuketown comes up, you know you're only playing Nuketown. But Call of Duty had the solution of just making a Nuketown only playlist. Sometimes that is the solution. Hero progression is one thing that kind of flew under the radar, I feel like, for a lot of people, because we just had so much stuff come out. But hero progression, in my opinion, is like my favorite thing that's gotten added besides Stadium. Hero progression feels so nice. It feels so good to be rewarded for gameplay. It's something that many games have locked behind a battle pass as the only form of progression, and every other thing is earned through, well, just buying the currency. You can't earn anything anymore. Like like in Halo 4, you had to get like 10 assassinations to earn an armor set, or you had to get a certain amount of headshots to earn an armor set. Like, that's the kind of earning that I miss in modern gaming, and Overwatch kind of brought that back in hero progression, where you could only get this stuff through progressing heroes. The system isn't perfect. They did reuse a lot of stuff and just threw it into the hero progression. But for the future heroes and for people just jumping into Overwatch, this is great. It's a great start. I do wish there was a little bit more original items in there, but then again, you can't make 3,000 new items to throw into something that is essentially free. It's just not realistic. For 2026, I know they have some stuff planned for us. What I hope to see is, I hope we see every single hero in Stadium. This should be top of the priority list. I want to see every single hero in Stadium before we get Stadium hero bans or they revisit the draft system. And honestly, when Stadium does get every single hero, I feel like they should just have a weekly rotation of heroes that are playable and heroes that are banned. Like every week there'll be 10 heroes that you just can't play. Like Sombra, Mercy, Doomfist, they're in a rotation that they're just not playable for that week in competitive. Leave uncompetitive alone. Leave casual alone. Let them always have all the heroes. Don't put bans in there. And honestly, the only other thing I could think of wanting is hero rework. Some heroes need a rework badly. Sombra, they're having a complete identity crisis with her. They do not know what to do with her. They need to figure something out. They need to run more tests because she's just been unplayable. She's still annoying, and that's a problem that they just have never figured out with her. And Widowmaker is another character that just needs some kind of rework. Her kit is just so outdated. They need to figure something out with just one-shots in general. But I'm excited to see what Overwatch does with the future, what Blizzard does, what the Microsoft acquisition ultimately does for Overwatch 2. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what they do. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you still playing Overwatch 2? Do you not care for it anymore? Let me know. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.